Hey, welcome to the DVB channel, and today we do have an Imperialdramon showcase from the new latest set EX01. Now we shall see the Imperialdramon going first, actually evolving into a Stingmon, which is newly introduced in the set itself with just a 2-cost level, providing that free archetype new piercing ability, so that's very nice. And we do see it against the green control deck, I would say, because it does run the new Ancient Troymons and also the Digimon, which are very costly level 6, but they provide very strong control against their matchups. And let's not forget about the Davis, which is a very old card but is getting stronger through the Imperialdramon support because it is an Imperialdramon card support after all, and it's a tamer that guarantees 3 memory, which allows Imperialdramon to do their shenanigans, and we do see the Imperialdramon swing as security without any fear thanks to that jamming skill it does have. And we do see him actually evolving to the new XVmon in the nursery, which does have jamming for some reason as a level 4, and it does give inheritability of jamming, so their level 5 and level 6 have jamming still. So we do see a Blossomon download here, which is free. And the Digimon will actually be coming down here to actually answer that Imperialdramon being scared of their potential Imperialdramon. Now the level 5 Imperialdramon specifically does have a very strong inherit for the Imperialdramon to actually allow him to swing twice, and I do definitely understand why you do want to answer it immediately, but it might be a too early Digimon, giving too much memory for the blue player here, as he does go for the memory control here, giving back only 1 memory to the green player. Now green player will have to patch another Digitama in the form of the Pinamon, which is a very strong card given that you do draw 1 when you do attack the opponent's Digimon. He does evolve to Terriermon here, which does hard counter blue in a sense because those Hammer Spark will be shut down. And we do see a Blossomon coming down once again. And we finally see the appearance of the Ancient Troymon. If you guys don't already understand the effect, basically when your opponent declares an attack, they have to rest 2 Digimons on the side of the field. So, which is happening right here. The XVmon does swing, resting the other XVmon, and it does evolve to a Vmon in the nursery. But looks like he's going for evolution, evolving to the new Imperialdramon, which when you do have a free archetype in the Digisource, you're actually able to restand it. And thanks to the XVmon passing that jamming, allowing him to swing at the security without any fear, but it does seem the option though, so it doesn't really do too much. And let's go for the Hammer Spark to push him to 2 memory, evolving to the old Imperialdramon to restand all jamming units on the field, and it does leave only 1 memory for the green player once again, and this is quite sick memory control, which is very strong. Looks like the option left for the green player is only to swing the security and hope for the best, pushing to actually 1 security already, and hard calling a Terriermon to prevent any Hammer Spark shenanigans. Now we do move out the Vmon there. Imperialdramon will be swinging the security, does have the draw power through the Digitama, but the Ancient Troymon will be putting a stop to these 2 Digimon, or so I thought, as he does evolve to the Imperialdramon, which allows him to stand once again and allow him to hit the security, pushing to 0 security already for the green player. It looks like he does have a level 7 to play, which is the Blitz Omimon, which ends the game right there. And we're going to game 2 here, with the green player going first in this game, evolving to the Goblimon. Then evolving to the Woodmon in the nursery, passing back only 2 memory. It looks like the blue player does have Devi Vmon here, and evolving to the new Vmon here, which is introduced in EX01, which does have a very strong inheritability, allowing you to actually gain memory when you do stand your Digimon. Now, how do you stand Digimon? Definitely through the Imperialdramon and in the Imperialdramon skills, which allow you to actually make it a 2-cost evolution if you think about it. It does evolve to the XVmon here, putting into 0 memory here, and then further evolving to the Imperialdramon, pressuring the green player for sure, as he can't really answer it straight up from the nursery, and we'll have to deal with it somehow. But it does evolve to the Togemon, looking at top 3. Does hit into a Blossomon, which I assume he'll be going to the download here, which he does. And going for the Mega Gagomon to actually rest that poor Dracomon. That seems like an overkill for me, and the Imperialdramon will be pushed out here with 4 memory to do. Does swing at the security and does draw 1 through the Digitama. Then jamming such a good card, man, especially against non-options heavy deck, as he does evolve to the new Imperialdramon here, which allows him to actually stand his Digimon as well as rest 1 Digimon on the field. In this case, he does rest the Woodmon. Swing at the Woodmon there, allowing him to restand through the Imperialdramon skill. And thanks to that, level 3 Vmon is able to gain 1 memory, as well as swing at the Mega Gagomon, thanks to that 1k DP extra, which he does gain, just by having blue Digisource. So he's able to swing at the Mega Gogomon, which is only 11k DP, and let's go for the Analog Boy, which is also introduced in a new set, allowing you to pick up the Imperialdramon from the top 3, mulling the rest, so that's unfortunate. But it does have a very strong secondary ability, allowing you to actually gain 1 memory during opponent's turn if they do answer your level 5 above. Now we do see a Lilamon being evolved in Nursery, not doing too much to the board unfortunately, given that was a board wipe earlier. And the blue player definitely have the advantage here, as he does evolve to the Vmon in Nursery, swing with the Imperialdramon, which does have a bunch of inherent abilities, allowing you to actually stack up quite well, does withstand through the Imperialdramon and does have jamming, hitting to a Mimi though, which is too late in my opinion. And we do see an X-Vmon being evolved here, which does have jamming as well, which will be a free swing at the security, and the green player will not have any answers for that, which is very unfortunate. The Imperialdramon will swing once again, putting to actually 1 security already. And we do see another Hammer Spark here, pushing the 3 memory, which will be potential Imperialdramon here, which he does, allowing to resend to swing once again. Man, the X-Vmon Imperialdramon combo is just very sick, putting to 0 already. It looks like we do have another level 7 Omnimon Blitz to end the game. Now let's talk about the Imperialdramon deck list that actually been played in the game itself. So starting off the Digitamons, we do play 5 Demi Vmon, 4 of them which allows you to draw 1 when it's a jamming unit, and 1 of them is just basically there for the +1 KDP. Now for the Digitama slot, you can actually trade it for Opamon if you want, but we're just putting there for the Imperialdramon team. Next, we do move on to the Vmon for the new one, which allows you to actually gain 1 memory when your Digimons do restand somehow, in the sense of Omnimon Blitz, Imperialdramon, and actually Imperialdramon itself. So potentially reducing the cost of these evolutions is very significant, given that you do have Hammer Spell to actually play around it. So it does come in very clutch at times. And moving on, we do have 2-cost Rookie, because 2-cost Rookies are just the bread and butter of every deck, I would say, especially the aggressive deck, allowing you to actually choke the opponent further, making them to commit to bad plays, I would say, given that they can't really do too much on their turn. Next, we do play the Jamming Vmon. Now, Jamming Vmon is just good in a sense because jamming unit swinging at the security is basically free if your opponent doesn't have any blockers to deal with it, and allowing you to actually evolve to the X-Vmon and even to the Imperialdramon after safely when you do swing. Next, we do play the Dracomon. Dracomon is just there to actually search Dramons, and in this case we do have Imperialdramons, Imperialdramons, and there are a total of 15 targets for the Dracomon to hit. So that's quite consistent in my opinion. And next up, we do move on to the new X-Vmon, which does have jamming for some reason, and it does have inherit to give jamming if it's a free unit. In this case, the level 5 and level 6 are free units, so they will gain the inherit ability for sure. Next, we do play the 1-cost blocker, because this deck does really want to quickly get to the level 5, so 1-cost blocker is definitely very valued here thanks to the cheap evolution. Next, we'll be playing the new Stingmon. Well, this Stingmon is mainly for that free archetype, and it does have a very strong piercing ability, which some opponents will not actually underestimate, I would say, because piercing is just a very red color thing to do, but it now comes in a blue color deck. So if opponent can't really block their jamming unit and they wants to block it, they actually require to take a piercing damage. And let's not forget about that turn whereby the Imperialdramon does rest that Mega Gogomon or rather the Woodmon. So imagine that turn it does have the piercing ability, it can kill 2 Digimons and do 2 security checks at the same turn. So that's actually pretty nice. Next, we do run the new Imperialdramons and old Imperialdramons. Now the new Imperialdramons is very nice, but it is very weird because it doesn't have jamming. But if you evolve it over the X-Vmon, you do have jamming naturally, and it does extend the attack you do have thanks to the evolution skill, where you're actually able to restand if you do have a free unit in your Digimon Digisource. Now we do play the old Imperialdramon definitely because of the jamming, so it's very nice, that works well with the Digitama. And secondly, it's definitely the Imperialdramon restand ability, allowing the Imperialdramon to actually swing twice just by being there in the Digisource. Now that's very nice. Next, we do play 7 Imperialdramons here. 4 new ones, because the new ones does allow you to have some sort of board control, which actually blue lags quite a bit. I mean, even in the old version of Imperialdramon, the control archetypes is mainly for the Hexball variant, but thanks to this new EX1 set, we are actually seeing a control style Imperialdramon for sure. We definitely do run the old Imperialdramon still because it does have a very strong on-evolve ability, allowing you to restand all jamming units, and if you look at this deck carefully, level 3, level 4 and level 5 do have all jamming units, and even level 6 himself does have jamming units, so you can extend more attacks in that one turn. If your opponent do not run options in their deck, or rather blockers, they're gonna eat so many securities, and you can finish the game off with that Omimon Blitz, which is showcased in the game itself so many times. Next, we do run 4 Tamers here, 2 Davis and 2 Analog Boy. Now Davis, as explained earlier in the video, is very strong and does contribute a huge consistency for this deck, allowing you to pick up potentially 2 cards from the top 3 thanks to that Stingmon, and definitely for that guaranteed 3 memory, because 3 memory does allow this deck to actually do quite a bit of plays thanks to that 3 cost Imperialdramon and the 3 cost Imperialdramon. Now we do run Analog Boy here just to test out the new EX1 mechanics thanks to this Tamer, because this Tamer does allow you to actually search the top 3, so it's actually a searcher, but it can also work as an opponent during the opponent's turn Hammer Spark, given that you do gain 1 memory if your opponent do deal with the level 5, in this case the Imperialdramons, because they are actually very annoying and very clutch, and it can actually threaten your opponent's security if they are not dealt with. And to round off this deck, we do run that 4 Hammer Spark, just because Hammer Spark is just a very strong blue option aggressive kind of card, allowing you to actually play defensively as well to memory choke your opponent, or rather extend your own play, and even in the opponent's turn, in the security itself, is a +2 memory, allowing your opponent to actually be caught off guard if they do make a play of actually attacking the security before making their evolve turn. Now let's talk about this green control list, which is actually running around in PT6 meta and topping quite a bit thanks to that control provided by the Digimon and the Ancient Trimon. Now the concept is that it's actually to stop your opponent from making more than 2 or 3 attacks per turn, allowing them to be punished through the Ancient Trimon and definitely board wiped by the Digimon. To start off with the Digitamons itself, we do play 4 Pinamon and 1 Yokomon. Now Pinamon does allow you to draw 1 when you do attack your opponent Digimon, and in this sense, you do have a lot of resting Digimon, so you're actually able to attack your opponent more often than you think. And definitely that 1 Yokomon, because of the Digiburst, it is not exactly the card you want to see, but it does work well with Lilamon, so that's that. Next up, we do run 4 Terriermon. Terriermon is just there to further up the control mechanics that green can play, so your opponent won't be able to extend their plays through memory boost and even Hammer Sparks like I mentioned earlier. And we do run 4 Palmons to allow your Digimon to hit over bigger Digimons, as you sometimes do lack that power, so that Palmon does give you +2 KDP, which is very nice. Now 2 Tentomons to actually synergize with the Agumon, because having a hardcore ability to actually basically +1 potential is very nice. Next, we do play 4 Goblinmon, mainly for the download costs, because you do want to have cheap rookies to hardcore, then using them to download, preventing your own Digimon to be vulnerable to opponent's attack. Next, we do run 3 Vegemons for their 1 cost evolution, and it's a 4 cost hardcore if you guys have not already know, so that's actually something to take note of. We do run 2 Togemons to actually search out your level 5 and level 6, given that you do really want to hit those boss Digimons as soon as possible to get that control running as soon as possible. Next, we do run the Woomons because of the 6 KDP, given that Jesmon and quite a bit of Digimons do deal with that 5 KDP, so Woomon is definitely MVP for that 1 KDP extra for the blocker. Next, we do play 2 Hybrid Digimons because we do have Mimi here, so the idea, or rather the vision of how this deck wins, is actually to swap your board with the Mimi as well to end it off with the Hybrid Digimon, given that opponent won't be able to do too much thanks to that Digimon and Ancient Trimon. Next, we do run the 9 level 5s, which is actually the 3 Musketeer kind of thing for green, I would say, which is the 4 Lilamon and 5 download. Sadly, Agumon is restricted, but the download is very clutch, definitely because you do run very expensive level 6 here, so allowing you to actually evolve to the level 6 as soon as possible is very nice. Now for the level 6, we do play 3 Mega Gagumon, and it's a very strong on-evo ability, given that you can rest your opponent to actually stop them from actually standing during their next stand phase, so potentially threatening a Ninghotmon in the next turn, or rather swinging it over with the Pinamon next turn. And next, we do run Ninghotmon, which is a very notorious card introduced in BT04, and it still is a very strong card, just that it doesn't see too much play as compared to before thanks to that option heavy decks nowadays. Next, we do play Ancient Trimon, which does have a very strong ability during your opponent's turn, which is to actually rest 2 of your opponent's Digimons whenever 1 Digimon declares an attack. And there's a very interesting mechanic how it works, which is basically because you know Jesmon, when they do swing, they're actually forced to actually stand immediately thanks to that turn player priority. And when it stands, you can actually use Ancient Trimon ability to actually react to that, resting that second Jesmon attack. and this applies to Government Bond of Friendship as well. So that's why this card is very clutch and very strong, and allows green to actually be the control deck that this game needs. Next, we do run 3 Mimi there. Mimi is just a staple tamer just for green, thanks to that free nursery boost, and also that guaranteed 3 memory. Next, we do play 3 memory boost there just because we do play quite a bit of high cost level 6s, so you do want to be able to evolve and attack the same turn, or not evolving and passing turn sometimes just don't feel too good. Next, we do play the new 6 cost rest everything spell, which does works very well with Digimon, and this punishes deck like Jesmon and even the new 3 Musketeers because of how many Digimons they can swarm in a single turn. Thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.